Hello, in this school guide video, we're going to talk about studying in the University of California, Berkeley. So, UC Berkeley, as it's commonly known, is one of the most prestigious universities of the world. University of California, Berkeley is located in the city of Berkeley in Northern California in the United States, and it's a public university. And we're going to talk about where it's located, the campus, the various departments, and where these students get jobs and placements and internships, and who are the famous alumni, and what are the places to visit near Berkeley. So first of all, where is the University of California, Berkeley located? So this is a map of California in the United States. So it's on the west coast, in the Pacific time zone. And in the northern part of California, you see this part here, that's the San Francisco Bay. It's called the Bay Area. And in the California Bay Area over here, we have a place on the top close to San Francisco. It's called Berkeley. And University of California, Berkeley is located maybe approximately 1 hour away from San Jose and about, let's say about 45 minutes drive from San Francisco. So it's located over here. So which are the states neighboring California? So now this is an enlarged map of California state. And on the west we have the Pacific Ocean. On the north we have the state of Oregon. On the east we have the state of Nevada. And to the south we have the country of Mexico. And this part is Southern California, where we have Los Angeles, San Diego, and all these places. And in the northern part of California, here we have, as you can see, the San Francisco Bay Area. And in the Bay Area we have San Francisco, there's Oakland, there's San Jose, and all these places over here. So one of the places here is Berkeley. So from if you're driving from San Francisco or Berkeley all the way to Los Angeles south, it would take you about 6 hours drive. What about the weather in Northern California? So it's usually pleasant all around the year, and summers are really bright. There's daylight till about 9 o'clock in the night, and in the winters it gets dark around 5 o'clock. But it usually doesn't snow except in the mountains, and they do get a lot of rainfall, in the warm season. I mean, you don't need gloves and boots and winter clothes and stuff to survive in California. If you just wear a sweater in the winters, it's more than enough. And the weather is really pleasant, and a lot of interesting hiking trails, adventures, places to visit. There's a lot of interesting things to do in Northern California. So which are the top cities in Northern California? So there's San Francisco, San Jose, Palo Alto, Sacramento, Monterey, and Berkeley. So these are some of the top cities. And so this is an enlarged map of Northern California Bay Area. So here is San Francisco, and then there's if you drive 1 hour south, you get San Jose, Sunnyvale, those places. And if from here, if you take 880 north, that's the freeway, then you'll in about say 15 minutes you can get to Fremont, and another 15 minutes you can get to Hayward, and then if you drive another 20-25 minutes you can get to Oakland, and another half an hour from Fremont, 45 minutes at the most in traffic, you can probably get to Berkeley. So from San Francisco to Berkeley, there's the Bay Bridge. Usually there's a lot of traffic on it. Sometimes within half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, you can get to Berkeley. So University of California, Berkeley is up here. So it's in the prime heart of the Silicon Valley. So a lot of companies are located here. There's Cisco, Intuit, there's Google, Palo Alto Networks, various medical systems, there's Apple, Facebook, all these companies are located here. And so people who graduate from Berkeley get a lot of placements, mostly in the Silicon Valley area. And they have the advantage of being very close over here. A lot of companies go there for campus recruitment. And they also work in other parts of the world and other parts of the US. So let's talk a little bit about Berkeley. So size is approximately 17.7 square miles. Population about 117,000 as of the year 2016. Quick facts. Berkeley is a city on the east shore of San Francisco Bay in northern Alameda County in California. It borders the cities of Oakland and Emeryville to the south, and the city of Albany and unincorporated community of Kensington to the north. Its eastern border with Contra Costa County generally follows the ridge of the Berkeley Hills. So it's a nice, it's close to the beach, a lot of hills, interesting places over there. Berkeley is home to the oldest campus in the University of California system, that's the University of California, Berkeley, and of the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, which is managed and operated by the university. So, which are the airports in California North? If you want to fly to UC Berkeley, you probably fly to San Francisco International Airport, SFO. That's like, one of the biggest international airports over there. And otherwise, you can also come to San Jose International Airport in San Jose and then drive for 1 hour to Berkeley. Sacramento is like further up north. I mean, from Sacramento to Berkeley is probably an hour's drive. It's a smaller airport and may not be as many international flights. So these are the other small airports. Some of these are like domestic regional airports. But for international flights, if you're flying from India, you would most probably go to San Francisco or San Jose. So top universities in Northern California, there's Stanford, there's UC Berkeley, University of California, San Francisco State University, University of California, Davis, Santa Clara University, and San Jose State University. And then there's a lot of like tier 2 universities which are not as prestigious, but there are also a lot of, these are also very good universities. And the most important thing is they have an advantage of being in the California North Bay Area where a lot of companies are present, so they prefer to pick students who are already local to the area as opposed to picking students from other parts of the US because they're not sure whether they would relocate and all this stuff. So one of the main reasons as to why students apply to universities which are in the California Bay Area is because they are so close to the Silicon Valley companies and their job placements are really good. So these are like some of the tier 2 universities. I've got like separate videos for some of the tier 2 universities like UC Riverside, UC Santa Cruz, and University of San Francisco. We don't have to go over these in detail, but it's just a mention of their names. So let's talk about University of California, Berkeley. This is their logo, established in 1868. Let's look at the department rankings. So as you know, different systems rank universities in different ways. So US News gives a different ranking, Princeton Review gives a different ranking based on various factors and surveys. So US rankings as of the year 2016, remember that it keeps fluctuating, varying every year. So UC Berkeley department, so the business school for MBA ranked top 20 in US as of the year 2016. You get an approximate idea of the ranking. Electrical Electronics Engineering is ranked number 1. Some other rankings may say number 2. It's all you need to know is like it's in the top 5. That's all you need to know from this, okay? You don't have to go by the exact numbers is what I'm trying to tell you. So the Computer Science Department is ranked top 2 in the US. Mechanical Engineering, top 3. Chemical Engineering, top 2. So it's again very highly ranked. Civil Engineering, so top 1. And different rankings may say different things, Some other ranking system may say like MIT is number 1 for electrical, and then somebody else might say Stanford is number 1. So all you need to know is like it's an indicator approximately of the whether it's in the top 5 or whether it's like somewhere around 50 or 20. You just get an idea of the rankings. So for law school, JD program, it's like top 8 in the US. So this is a picture of the UC Berkeley campus. Very beautiful campus. It's a quaint town and it's got this famous tower over here. So let's look at the history of UC Berkeley. Founded in 1868 and it moved to Berkeley in 1873. So in 1914 to 1920, Yosemite Wildlife Survey was some an activity they undertook. 1922 they discovered vitamin E, and 1935 vitamin K was discovered. 1943 physics professor Robert Oppenheimer and others developed the atom bomb. 1954 crystallized animal virus for the first time, poliovirus. 1981 David Patterson designs the CPU, that's the RISC computer. 1964 free speech movement. 1978 first black woman granted tenure, Barbara Christian. So these are some of the important achievements of people at UC Berkeley. So UC Berkeley has produced a lot of Nobel laureates. So there's 22 faculty Nobels, including 8 in physics, 1 in physiology, 5 in economics, 7 in chemistry, 1 in literature. 29 alumni Nobels, including 5 in physiology or medicine, 11 in chemistry, 8 in physics, and 5 in economics. So UC Berkeley, here are some quick facts about Berkeley. Berkeley had only 10 faculty members, 40 students, and 3 fields of study at the time of its founding. That's way back in 1868. As of year 2016, UC Berkeley has grown to more than 1,600 faculty members, 35,000 students. It has a total undergraduate enrollment of about 27,000 graduate and 27,000 students, undergrads, and graduate students about 10,455. So it's a pretty big university. Its setting is urban and the campus size is about 1,232 acres. Pretty big campus, but it's not, nearly as big as Stanford. Stanford campus is about 8,000 acres, more than 8,000 acres. And UC Berkeley is about 1,200 acres. So that's approximately 1/6 of the size of Stanford University campus, just to give you a comparison. And it's located in Northern California. Berkeley offers more than 350 degree programs in 130 academic departments and 80 interdisciplinary research units. There are about 1,620 faculty members, 7 Nobel laureates currently in faculty. A ratio of student to faculty is about 17:1. For every 17 students, you have 1 faculty member. UC Berkeley trivia, some interesting facts. So standing at 307 feet tall, the campanile, also referred to as the tower, is the 3rd largest bell and clock tower in the world. So it's 307 feet tall. The campus colors are blue and gold, as we saw in the logo. It's tradition for students to roll down 4.0 hill on campus to get good grades. So they have this funny tradition. So there's a small hillock called the 4.0 hill, and they say if you roll down that hill, you're going to get a 4.0 GPA. Well, I don't know the truth in that, but rolling down the hill in itself will not get you a 4.0 GPA. You have to work for it. If you step on the Berkeley seal nearby, however, it's said you'll be cursed for the year. So the stone ball in front of the campanile is now referred to as the 4.0 ball. Rubbing it before taking an exam is considered good luck. A gold nugget found at the Bancroft Library is believed to be the piece of gold that John Marshall discovered on January 24th, 1848 to set off the California gold rush. So it's believed that the first piece of gold, the gold nugget, was found in Bancroft Library in the UC Berkeley campus. Some more UC Berkeley trivia. It's the plus points. So it's a huge university, not nearly as huge as Stanford, but it's a pretty big university. Diverse, intellectually driven student body, world-renowned and inspiring faculty. So you'll be taught a lot of courses by Nobel laureates. But do remember that not all Nobel laureates are necessarily good teachers, because they might be really great researchers and sometimes they may not just be interested in teaching courses. I had a manager, so he was a student at UC Berkeley many years ago, like maybe 4 decades ago, and he was telling me they had a Nobel laureate professor who would be like smoking all the time and people couldn't understand what he taught, mumbling. He was not interested to teach. But then once you're a Nobel laureate, I don't think anybody can fire you. At the most they can warn you, once you have tenure. And they might be great researchers, but remember, they may not always be good teachers. Generally, not necessarily only in this university, any university. It's really hard to find professors who are very good at research and also passionate about teaching and who really care about their students. So it's really hard to find such professors. So large and abundant academic and athletic facilities, proximity to San Francisco's cultures and communities, natural amenities, so there's marinas, parks, trails, oceans, etc. So minus points, the quality and price of off-campus housing. So housing is expensive. High academic pressure. So it's almost as high pressure as in like Stanford. So talking about academic pressure, you need to know that a lot of students at these top-notch universities under so much pressure, sometimes they just buckle, they can't withstand it. Approximately, I'm guessing, 1 student every month or every few months commits suicide in California, either by falling on the railway tracks or some way, because they're not able to withstand the high pressure. The whole world is looking up to them, family, friends, everyone with expectations. And if they can't get good grades, they don't know what to do. But if you turn to spirituality, do a lot of yoga, meditation, develop composure, then you'll be able to deal with situations. So A lot of these students, even at MIT, Harvard, they jump into the Cambridge River. And even in California, they commit suicide. If they can't withstand the pressure, they think that's an easy way out, but that's really not the solution. So you need to keep that in mind. You have to have a correct attitude and atmosphere, and you have to have a lot of peace of mind, mental ability, stability, in order to excel in academics. So, homeless population around campus. There are a lot of homeless people around there. Overly accepted drug culture. It's not that everyone who goes there is going to be attacked by drug dealers or stuff, but they do have problems like that. Rainy weather in the winter, lack of local hotspots as opposed to San Francisco. So it's not like every evening you can head out to nightlife or something like that. Berkeley is more like a quaint campus town kind of thing. It's not as vibrant as San Francisco or San Jose or Palo Alto. A college town feel that can at certain times feel suffocating. But don't worry, you'll have plenty to do, okay? It's not nearly so bad. But then, what I'm trying to say is it's not as vibrant as living in the heart of the city of San Francisco or Palo Alto. It's more quaint, comparatively. Lack of parking and the non-car friendly UC policies. Parking is a big problem there. So the Berkeley Haas School of Business is very popular. So this is the graduate business school for the MBA program. So if you join Berkeley for MBA, you'll be studying over here. So let's take a look at some quick facts about the Berkeley Haas MBA program. Berkeley Haas has tie-ups with various different universities. Sometimes I've heard of tie-ups between Wharton and Berkeley, and so many different universities. They do have tie-up executive MBA programs and also online MBA programs and stuff like that. You can explore it more on their website. But for the full-time MBA program, it's ranked top 20 for MBA in the US. Acceptance rate 13.2%. Average GMAT score about 715. Average undergraduate GPA about 3.66. Annual tuition about $59,000. Average salary about $120,000. So I'm a little confused here. I'm thinking this might not be the annual tuition. It might be more like the program cost for the 2-year program. Well, I do know one thing, because Berkeley is much less expensive than Stanford. And a lot of students who can't afford to go to Stanford sometimes prefer to go to UC Berkeley, because the tuition at Berkeley is relatively much less than at Stanford. That's something you need to keep in mind. And even regarding the prestige of the program, Stanford is definitely ranked higher, but UC Berkeley graduates also have a lot of networking opportunities and also the ability to work in top-notch Silicon Valley companies. So UC Berkeley Computer Science. So this is the computer science department. It's ranked within the top 5 in the US for computer science. So acceptance rate about 14.9%. Average GRE score about 165. Average UGPA about 3.7. Annual tuition about $15,000. And average salary about $75,000 upon graduation. UC Berkeley Mechanical Engineering. This is a picture of the Mechanical Engineering department. And it's also ranked 3, usually in the top 5 in the US. So acceptance rate about 14.9% for grad school, mechanical engineering, and then average GRE score about 165, average undergraduate GPA 3.5, annual tuition about $15,800, and the starting salary for mechanical engineering graduates about $67,500. Now let's take a look at the electrical engineering department. This is the electrical engineering building of UC Berkeley, and it's ranked between 1 and 5. It keeps fluctuating, so it's in the top 5 in the US. Its acceptance rate about 14.9%, average GRE score about 165, average undergraduate GPA 3.7, annual tuition is usually the same for all the engineering departments, so it's still $15,800 per annum, and average salary after graduation but this varies from different department to department, so it's about $80,000 starting salary upon graduation. So you see Berkeley Chemical Engineering Department. So this is a picture of the Chemical Engineering Department, again ranked in the top 5 in US. So the chemical engineering department, acceptance rate again 14.9%, average GRE score 165, average UGPA about 3.5, annual tuition about $15,800, and average starting salary for chemical engineering graduates at the master's program about $67,000. UC Berkeley Civil Engineering Department. So this is a picture of the civil engineering department. It's ranked again in the top 5 in the US. So acceptance rate is again 14.9%, average GRE score 166, average undergraduate GPA 3.7, annual tuition about $15,800, and average starting salary for civil engineering graduates about $63,000. Now let's take a look at the law school. So remember that the JD program can be done, in conjunction with various other programs as a dual degree program. So you can do like a JD PhD. Sometimes you won't have to pay anything for that if you're doing a dual degree. Sometimes you can do like a JD / MBA program, or JD with a master's in computer science. You can club it up and you can get 2 degrees at once. I mean, of course it takes more time, but a lot of people do that. It's a very interesting program. So it's ranked top 8 in the US for JD. This is a Berkeley Law School. So acceptance rate about 21.6%, average LSAT score about 162, average undergraduate GPA 3.8, annual tuition about $53,630, average starting salary about $109,000. Some famous alumni of UC Berkeley: Stephen Chu, Nobel laureate 1997 physics, Secretary of Energy in the Obama administration; Joseph Erlanger, Nobel laureate 1944, physiology or medicine; Andrew Fire, Nobel laureate 2006 medicine; Cal Grieder, Nobel laureate 2009 medicine; David Gross, Nobel laureate 2004 physics; Alan Heeger, Nobel laureate 2000 in chemistry; Thomas Seck, Nobel laureate 1989 chemistry; William Giach, Nobel laureate 1949 chemistry; Robert Curl, Nobel laureate 1996 chemistry, for the discovery of fullerenes. I remember when we were studying, in my 11th grade, we used to learn about Buckminster fullerene. At the time, when I was in my 11th grade, that was the year 1996, and they had this really interesting thing just then called Buckminster fullerene, and it was a very interesting topic of discussion in chemistry. So that was discovered, by a Berkeley graduate, Robert Curl. So Indian restaurants near Berkeley. There's Ajanta, Vic's Chat, Udupi Palace, Chat Cafe, House of Curries, Taste of the Himalayas, Priya Indian Cuisine. A lot of Indian restaurants. And if you just drive for half an hour, you'll go to San Francisco. If you drive about 45 minutes south, you'll be in the San Jose area, where there's tons and tons and tons of Indian restaurants. So cost of living near UC Berkeley. So monthly rent as of year 2016 for a studio would be about $2,300 to $3,000 per month. Apartment, 1 bed 1 bath apartment, about $2,500 to $3,200 per month. 2 bed 2 bath apartment is $3,000 to $4,000 per month. So it's kind of expensive. Mostly you'll be sharing with roommates, unless you're really financially very well off. Top companies in the California Bay Area. So we have Google, Facebook, Apple, Zynga, Palo Alto Networks, Cisco, Variant Medical Systems, Symantec, Intel, Intuit, and lots of more companies. A lot of startups. So if you graduate from Berkeley, it may not be very difficult for you to get a job. Most people get placements and they get very good packages. They compete with Stanford graduates and from various other universities. And usually, if you get good grades from Berkeley, your chances of getting a job are very, very good. So this brings us to the end of this video about studying in the University of California, Berkeley. I hope you found it useful. Thank you.